It's Perp back with another video, and what a finale, bro. Jeez, so much to break down, but I appreciate y'all, hanging me from the ups and downs with this series. Last week I wasn't feeling too well, but I feel much better, so I appreciate everybody looking out for me and, wishing me well and whatnot. But hit that like button, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at PerpMighty420. So let's get right into this. So everybody's waking up from the previous night and they have no idea what's going on. Besides Lottie, even Shauna is starting to look a little bit more plumped than usual. I have a theory on that as well. Just stay tuned till the end of the video. We have Travis and Natalie kind of going through their little thing. We'll get into that as well. Things are really getting crazy with Travis right now, and Natalie is just trying to look out for Travis at this point. But in present day, you have, Misty helping out getting rid of this body. She steals some supplies from her job, and everybody kind of gets assigned a different job. Natalie and Shauna are pretty much busy chopping up the body, trying to get it into pieces, while, Misty and Thaisa are pretty much going to clean up after them. And I really like this scene between Natalie and Shauna. And Shauna really understands Natalie and pretty much says, like, you gotta let this go. You gotta forgive yourself and forgive Travis and stuff like that. And I really like that. That was a really touching moment, even though they were chopping up a body at the same time. But, Natalie is starting to come around. Back at the wilderness, stuff is really, tensions are really brewing. Like, a lot of people aren't really fucking with Misty right now because, it's her fault that everybody kind of went crazy. But there's definitely something more at play that, Lottie is messing around with. Jackie definitely didn't forget what happened, that, that people, they were locking her out and whatnot and doing a lot of wild shit pretty much. But what Lottie does here is some gangster ass shit. She pretty much kills a bear. You know what I'm saying? And now they're just looking at this like, damn, we're going to be good for a while. We're going to be eating off this bear for a minute. So shout out to Lottie for pretty much killing that bear with just one good swipe, with no, fight or nothing. So that's pretty huge. On present day, they have this 25-year was it class reunion. We even see Allie and see what she's up to. She even mentions that she was supposed to be on that plane. We also get introduced to Randy, a little bit older. Really interesting. So how Misty decides to get rid of her parts of the body and stuff. It's getting cremated. So she uses one of her patients that just died and puts the stuff in that coffin so it can get incinerated, which it wouldn't be Yellowjackets if Misty didn't do something crazy. That's all I'm saying. But everybody has to pretty much go about their lives, even though everybody is struggling with this, like the fact that, Shauna had to get rid of somebody that she loved. They still, got on their best dresses and stuff like that, and ended up going to the reunion. And, they walk in there like motherfucking royalty. It was okay. I didn't need the slow motion camera and all that stuff, but, back in the wilderness, Misty's still trying to pitch in, but, nobody trusts her. Everybody kind of looking at her funny because they think they're going to she's going to drug them or something like that. So they just keep Misty away. And we get this really interesting conversation between Van and Thaisa, and it's interesting how Thaisa reacts to anything kind of supernatural. She kind of plays it off, and Van mentions that, she went somewhere and she saw something that, that is with them, and that might be that supernatural thing that's been going on in the wilderness, or that attached itself to Lottie. So while this is going on, going back to the reunion, you know, um, Natalie is kind of just really going through it. And shout out to the actress, man. She did a phenomenal job in this. She also says kind of her final goodbyes for now to Kevin. I know his name is Kevin with a Y, which is weird. And then you have Shauna pretty much threatening Randy, saying, I'll gut you like a pig. And she's not lying. She will do it. Now we get into the juicy stuff. Everybody's sitting down, about to eat. But Van's like, why don't we say grace or something? And of course, Lottie has to be the weird one to say, like, thank the earth and the dirt and all this shit. So, anyways, that's not what we came here to see. And I told y'all that, Shauna and Jackie were going to clash. And they definitely did clash. And it didn't go the way Jackie thought it would. And, Shauna pretty much sticks up for herself in this and pretty much tells Jackie, like, look, you're selfish and just all this. Maybe you should be the one to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of pretty much living in your shadows. And I like that about Shauna, but, at what cost? Back at the reunion, they're having this montage of all the Yellowjackets, and they show off Jackie. Then Jeff and Shauna end up having a dance, trying to just act normal, like shit. They just didn't have to get rid of a body. Jeff doesn't know that, but Shauna lets Jeff know, you don't want to know, pretty much. So Simone wants to pick some things up from the house, and she doesn't want to really see Thaisa right now, and probably for good reason. We'll get into that as well. Interesting scene right here with Jessica and Misty, and you're thinking, like, yo, is Misty really that dumb? Is she really just gonna let her go? And no, she's not gonna let her go without just doing something to her. So before she leaves, she injects Jessica's cigarettes with something that makes her pass out. I don't know if it killed her or not, but that stuff is interesting. Back at the wilderness, Shauna, it seems like she's kind of regretting talking to Jackie like that, but she realizes, like, Jackie gotta learn her lesson. Then we get back to Travis and Natalie, and Natalie finally catches up with Travis, and Travis can't find Javi anywhere, and he's just scared for Javi, but also he finally confesses his love to Natalie, and that was a really dope moment. It's really sad because those two had a really strong bond that I want to see kind of play out more in future seasons. Now we get to the really juicy part of this episode, and this is towards the end where everything just seems like it's going okay. Thaisa has won her election, but Simone finds some things down in the basement. The dog's head's cut off and stuff like that with the symbol that you see right there. And, things with Shauna and Jeff are starting to look okay until there's a missing man on the news, and it happens to be Adam, and things just completely, the mood completely changes. It's just one thing after another. So we go back to the wilderness, and we get this really weird scene of Shauna coming out, apologizing to Jackie, like, come on in, don't worry. And she starts to see everybody just lined up. And she also starts to see Laura Lee and some other people there as well. But before you know it, Shauna wakes up, and realizes that Jackie is still out there, and it snowed out of nowhere. And this is how Jackie dies. She just dies being frozen to death. Being frozen, you know what I'm saying? And this is where things just get really crazy, as Natalie is about to take her life until this group of people just barge in and just snatch her up. And we come to find out that it's all because of Lottie. So Lottie is still alive, and she's running this cult. You see in the background, you have Van and you have Misty. And now things are getting even more interesting. I cannot wait for season 2. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode and this series as a whole, because this has been a really fascinating series to watch, from start to finish. Just them, teasing us with the mystery. Is this something supernatural, or is it just something all in their head? But it's a little bit of both, and I cannot wait to see where they take this season in season 2. Give me all your predictions and your thoughts about this first season, and where they could possibly go next. But until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.